I think there's two things that I did in my career. One was production, radio production, that I loved the creativity of it. It was working with sound, with music, recording voices and playing with people's imagination, you know, trying to get them to imagine things. And the second was being a talk show host. I mean, I liked being a program director too, because I liked the idea of coming up with concepts and ideas. Talk show host I found to be very demanding, very challenging, had to be on your toes every minute. And it was intellectually stimulating, you know what I mean? Because every day was different. Every day you were talking about something new. So those are the two things that I liked the most. But I've always been in management, so I should have said management, but not so much sometimes. Well, approach everything as a step and not a destination. I've never looked at Guelph Humber as the last place that I'm going to work. It might be, but I've never looked at it that way. I've looked at it that if I ever decided that I wanted to go into another university at a higher level in administration, this would be a great step. And so from that standpoint, I think if you approach it that way, you enjoy the job more, because you don't think, this is it for the rest of my life, I'm going to be doing X. It's simply a step to try to get to where you really want to go. That's one of the things. The other thing, do things you enjoy. I mean, good gravy. One of the worst jobs I had, and I shouldn't admit this because I made more money than I ever. I sold television advertising. And even though I made just buckets of money, I hated it. I hated the traveling. I hated going in trying to talk people into doing something, in some cases they didn't want to do. I just didn't like that whole... And so I only did it for a couple of years, but it seemed like a lifetime to me. If, on the other hand, you do something that you really enjoy, and there was times when I was doing talk radio, I'd be reading somebody's novel until 2 o'clock in the morning to get ready for the show the next day, but I never minded that because I enjoyed doing it. So find your niche, find things that you enjoy doing. Don't look at it as a permanent, look at it as a step, and stay there until you stop learning and stop enjoying it. And if you stop learning and stop enjoying it, it's time to move, whether they fire you or not. I'm going to admit something that I don't admit to too many people, and my wife always laughs. I don't even know how much money I make. I don't. I think it's enough. It keeps paying the bills. Being happy and doing something that you enjoy. When you're unhappy, it affects your health, it affects your personality, it affects your entire life. It can affect your relationships. People don't understand that. And if you've gone through 3 or 4 divorces, you might realize that if you're not happy, like, it affects everything. So yeah, you know what? I'll let somebody else worry about the money. It's great to live well. Don't get me wrong. Somebody's going to say, yeah, but he's got a boat, he's got this, he's got... Yes, I do, and it's great to live well, but that's not my motivator. If I didn't enjoy Guelph Humber, I wouldn't be here. I'm a really good cook, I think. My friends and family tell me that I am. Maybe something in the food industry, maybe... I don't know if I'm up to being a cook anymore, standing all those hours, but it would be nice to be an executive chef and develop menus and different strategies for restaurants. I think that'd be fun. But anything to do with people. It would have to do with people. I realized a long time ago, I'm a people person, and sitting in a little cubicle. Before I came to Guelph Humber, I should mention this, and before I came to Humber, I was offered a job at the CRTC, which is the Canadian Radio Television Telecommunications Commission. And they flew me to Ottawa. I was going to be a senior analyst, and they showed me some other analysts that were working, and they were working in little cubicles, and they never talked to anybody all day. And I thought, I'm going to die if I do this. So if it was around people and around food, what a dream.